Hello. Okay, so in this video, I just want to quickly talk about upgrade paths with the Protos. It's something that I have been busting Cadix's balls over for many months about showing viable upgrade paths for people, beginners that buy into this new kit and this new system. It's pointless buying a kit only for 2 or 3 months later to have to completely start again and buy a whole new set of goggles, new drones, everything, and start from scratch. So when I started my journey into FPV, this is what I started with. It was a little Hubsan H122D analog brushed 2S little drone kit. Came with what you see on the screen, goggles, radio. The goggles actually doubled up as a screen, which was kind of cool. And I think I bought this off eBay new for like 80 quid. And as I said, the upgrade path that I could see there was my goggles would do the job when I outgrew this little drone. Now, obviously, the radio is fairly similar to what comes with the Protos. It's not something that you're going to want to go on in the future with. But what I was able to discover was that that little Hubsan drone used the Bayang protocol, and at the time, radios came with 4-in-1 transmitters. This was before Express LRS, and one of the protocols within those 4-in-1 modules was Bayang. So I was able to buy this little kit, get to grips with FPV and flying drones in general using everything that was provided in the kit. And then I bought a jumper T12, bound the radio to the drone, and I was able to use then, in inverted commas, a grown up radio with the little drone. I continued to fly with the existing goggles, and once I got to grips further with FPV and got comfortable with what was happening, I was able to buy grown up, in inverted commas, goggles. And so there was a migration there. There was from the kit to a grown up radio with the kit to a grown up goggles with the drone, and then eventually a whole new drone. And the kit then was put in a box, and I think I sold it back on eBay for like 30 or 40 quid. So there was an upgrade path there. So with the Protos then, what's the upgrade path that's currently there in front of us? Well, you buy it, you get the radio, the drone, the goggles. First thing you can do is plug the radio into a simulator, if that's what you're into, and get the grips with FPV before you even take the drone off the ground. Get just to grips with the mechanics of moving the sticks and what the sticks do with the likes of liftoff. And Cadix have partnered with Liftoff to actually model the little drone in the Liftoff sim. So there's that. That's the first kind of step. You can then get to grips with the kit using the onboard software with position hold, with using the downward optical flow sensors to be able to kind of move around very, very slowly, very tentatively with kind of crutches, stabilizers, and get to grips with flying the drone. Then you go into angle mode, and then you go into kind of acro mode, and you kind of get a little bit better with the kit, with everything that's provided. So the next thing then is you upgrade your radio. You get yourself a grown-up radio. The Protos uses Express LRS. Plug the battery in and out 3 times very quickly, and it puts the receiver into bind mode. Fire up your radio, go to the Express LRS Lua, and go down to bind, and away you go. And you're able to use a grown-up radio with big, full-size gimbals, nice smooth gimbals, with the drone, and it makes a massive difference. It makes flying the drone so much easier. So once you do get to grips with the mechanics of flying a drone and you think, I'm going to stick with this, you're going to get yourself a better radio. Now, whether it's the cheaper end of the scale with the likes of the Radio Master Pocket, or it's something a little bit bigger, that'll be up to the pilot themselves. But there is a path there. You can get better. You can the kit can grow with you. So you've bought the kit, you've got the hang of it with the included radio. You've decided you're sticking with FPV. you've got yourself a grown-up radio, you've bound it to the quad, you found that it's made life a lot easier for you, you've flown around, you've got even better, you're flying around now with the stock firmware in Acro mode, and life's great. Then what? Well, what Cadix plan for you to do is to flash Betaflight, and that'll open up all of the kind of the goodness of kind of PID controls that Betaflight has to offer. And will make Acro and angle mode even better. It will do away with the kind of the crutches, the position hold, the use of the sensors, but at this point it's expected that you're not going to really need them anymore. So you flash Betaflight onto it, and then you're able to throw the thing around a little more aggressively than what you had done using the stock firmware. So the thing to remember is that the Protos weighs 105 grams. It's a little 1.6 inch propeller. It's quite small, but it's quite heavy for its size. You're never going to be able to throw it around as aggressively as a 2S 75mm or a 2S 85mm whip, like my analog Meteor 85 or the walk snail version. But there's a migration path there. So hopefully when you outgrow the Protos, you could buy the Ascent Lite VTX and put it into an analog Meteor 85 or something like that. Or hopefully maybe vendors would have versions of their quads with Ascent Lite VTX already installed. So you can buy the kit, change the radio, flash the quad to Betaflight, get to grips with that, and then migrate to another quad that has the Ascent Lite VTX in it. Beginners or people that are into micros and whoops, I think are the guys that are going to benefit earliest with this Ascent system. People that are into long range or just 5-inch freestyle, we're going to have to wait quite a long time, I think, before we see any hardware that's going to be suitable for our kind of applications. Well into next year, in my opinion. So those are kind of the migration paths that I see that'll get people into FPV. And I mean, I commend. I'll be harsh on Cadix whenever I need to be, but I'll also commend them. And I think trying to get more people into the hobby can only be a good thing. There's been a lot of negative press around FPV in the last lot of months and years. And I think if we get younger guys into FPV and show parents and show grandparents and just show Joe Blogs that FPV can be a fun toy for kids, and those kids become teenagers, and it changes the narrative of what FPV is. It's not a tool of war, it's a fun toy. And I think by lowering the boundaries and getting more people involved in FPV, it'll kind of turn back the clock to what people thought FPV and drones were. Fun toys, not things for killing or for snooping. So anyway, the footage that you're watching is the little Protos with Betaflight flash to it. And yeah, as I say, I'm not going to be able to throw it around the garden here as well as I would fly around the little Meteor 85s, but it's certainly a lot better and a lot easier to throw it around. And I'm using my Jumper T20 radio here, so this is kind of a stage along that migration path that I could see maybe some people going. And realistically, when the Ascent Lite VTX becomes available, I'll probably buy it and put it into my analog Meteor 85. I have 1S whoops that are analog. They'll probably stay analog, but the analog 85 seldom gets used because I'm always using the walk snail version, and so I'll probably just buy the Ascent Lite and put it into currently the analog Meteor 85, and I'll be able to throw it around and actually do a comparison of how it compares to the Protos. But anyway, I'll let you watch the rest of the footage here and I'll disappear. All the best now. Thanks.